Big up, people. What is happening? The Liverpool Prophet back again with another live stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Big up to every single one of you locked in the building, locked up. Don't know why I said locked up then, but nonetheless, big up to you all. Hope we are all doing well. More Liverpool related stuff to talk about today, lads. More Liverpool related stuff to talk about today. As you can see, the topic of the video or the topic of the live stream: will FSG break the bank on signings again this summer? That's the question. That's the big question we were wondering, because we're going to have a lot of outgoings. We're certainly going to have a lot of outgoings this summer. The question I want to ask is, will we have much incomings? Will we have much signings coming in? Because usually we sell a lot and then we don't spend as much and bring in as much as we should, which leaves us a position short going into the season. So yeah, we'll discuss a little bit about FSG, a little bit about FSG's future around the club. We'll discuss the outgoings that I think should go out, the incomings that I think should come in, and how much money I think we'll spend, and if we will spend, because it's a big if. I do feel last season was a bit of an anomaly, in the sense of we spent all that money. I do think it's a once in a lifetime thing, so I don't expect that much to be spent ever again. Certainly the biggest window I've seen in my lifetime as a Liverpool supporter. That says a lot. You know what I'm saying? That says a lot. But yeah, gonna discuss all of that today. Big up, man. Big up to everyone locked in. Hope we're all doing well. Big up. So, you know what? Let's not waste no time. Let's just get straight into it. So, FSG. They're the discussion point here, aren't they? They are the discussion point. So, are FSG going to break the bank again this summer? Are they going to spend the money required to get us back competing to that highest level? Are they going to do that? I have my doubts. Because I know what these owners are like. I've seen how they operate for the last 8-9 years, and it's not in a way that I'm particularly keen on. So I've got my doubts on whether they're going to actually 2 years in a row put their money where their mouths are, because usually FSG come out, they say the same stuff year in, year out. This is something extraordinary to be a part of, says John W. Henry. But they never spend to keep us competing. They never spend like the others spend, which has always annoyed me. Big up to Wahaha, brother. Hope you're doing well, mate. Big up yourself, Wahaha. I'm doing well, mate. I hope you're doing well as well. Big up yourself, bro. Appreciate you being in. Are they going to spend? Because we can't afford not to spend this summer. With the season we've had, it's become blatantly and glaringly obvious that we have got holes in the squad that need addressing. We've got a hole at centre back that needs addressing. We've got a hole in midfield that needs addressing. And up top, we are now going to have holes with players going up that also need addressing. Salah's gone, so we know that. Chiesa most likely is gone. We know he's gone. That's the whole right side gone, people. That's the whole of our right side gone. So we've got no right wingers. We may as well just work off of the basis that he is going to go Chiesa as well. So that's the whole right side gone. No right wingers at all on that right side. Up top, you've got Isak, Ekitike. Ekitike is now out until early next year, so he won't feature starting next season or the start of next season. Isak, we know what his record is like. He's a very, very injury-prone striker. We know this. Can't really trust him to stay fit. Cannot really trust him. 1 second, guys. I'm just going to have to close my door. Apologies. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to take care of something there. My door was wide open, and I wanted to make sure it was shut. So apologies. I'm back now, though. But yeah, Isak's injury prone. We know that, so he can't stay fit, and it's unlikely and unrealistic to expect him to stay fit next season. Big up Danchun. Hope you're well, mate. Big up yourself, brother. So that's unrealistic. So there's a good possibility that next season at some point we're gonna be in a position where we don't have any fit strikers available. We know Hugo won't be available for the first part of next season. Isak put it this way, guys. I'll be very, very surprised if he, from August when the season starts till December, if he stays injury free. Fingers crossed he does. I hope he does. If he can, happy days. I just don't think he can do it with his injury record. Seeing how injury prone he was over at Newcastle as well, I just don't think he can do it. But I'm here to be proven wrong. Good to know that you're doing well, mate. I'm doing well as well, thank you. Appreciate you being in, brother. So that's an issue. So what does that mean? Do we now go into the market and look for another striker as well, potentially? Is that something we should be looking at doing? Because I think we should. Personally, I think we need to now look into the market for another striker. That's a problem, our striker. The left wing is an issue because we've seen this season that Gakpo isn't good enough to be that starter. I'd keep Gakpo around. I think as a squad player, as a super sub, as the backup left winger, I think he's still effective and I'd keep him around. But as a starter, we can't be going into next season with Cody Gakpo as our first choice left winger. We just can't. We still haven't replaced Luis Diaz, which I think we need to do this summer as well. So a left winger is certainly required. We need that left winger. So that's the attack there. We need 2 right wingers going into this summer because Mo and Chiesa are most likely gone. Well, Mo's gone, Chiesa most likely gone. Ekitike is injured at strikers. That's one of our strikers gone. Isak, we know, is very injury prone. His fitness is unreliable. So we're probably going to need another striker to cover for them. Left wing, we need to upgrade on Cody Gakpo, in my opinion. So we need to go into the market and look at a left winger. That's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 signings we need to make up top. So that's already 4 signings. I'm saying now let's go into that's the attack. Let's go into the midfield now, right? Currently, our midfield options are Endo, McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Jones, and Elliott. Those are our current 6 midfield options. Now, Jones is being linked with a move away. He's been linked with a move to he's been linked to Inter Milan. He's been linked to Villa, Coventry. He's been linked everywhere. There's a possibility he goes. So we might end up having to replace him. So that's 1 midfielder down potentially. McAllister's being linked away with a move. He's been linked with Real Madrid. He's been linked with, to be fair, he's been linked all over the place as well. So there's a possibility McAllister gets moved on as well. Elliott, if Slot is still the manager, he may as well just get sold because we know that Slot doesn't rate Elliott, doesn't take to him, doesn't have him in his plan. So he may as well get sold if Slot's still here. Then you've got Wirtz, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and Endo. Endo will do, I think, 1 more year. He's agreed to do another year at Liverpool, and then I think he will move on. So that will happen. Gravenberch is the only one that we know is going to be here for the foreseeable future because he has signed a new contract. So he's the only one we know is definitely here for sure. McAllister, we don't know what's going to happen with him. We don't know what's happening with Jones. Wirtz has just joined, so he will be here for a while, I believe. Who else? Szoboszlai again. That could be an issue because if the club doesn't show the right ambition, if the club doesn't show that they want to win and they care, Dominic Szoboszlai will start looking elsewhere across Europe to get a move, and I wouldn't blame him. So that's the problem. The club have really got to show some proper ambition and intent this window. You can start by removing Slot, to be fair. Now, granted, Slot should have gone halfway through the season. I firmly believe he should have gone before he did go. The fact that he's prolonged and he's managed to see out the whole season, I don't know how. He should have gone back in November, in my opinion. That's when I think the club should have really pulled the trigger on him and sacked him. So that didn't happen. You start by removing him. That will show at least some sort of intent. So and then players will know that a new manager's coming in. That might encourage them to stay potentially. But if we go through a drought now for the next couple of years where we're just fighting for top 5, not winning anything, do you think the likes of Szoboszlai aren't going to have their heads turned? If a Madrid come calling or if a Bayern or Paris Saint-Germain come calling? I think Wirtz won't have his head turned, Ekitike. It's a big problem. It's a big, big problem for years to come, man. I'm telling you guys. Which is why I'm adamant ambition has to be shown this summer. It's a big summer for so much reasons. For the future of our club, this is a huge summer. If we get it wrong, or if we screw it up, it's going to take us back years. It's going to set us back 4 to 5 years. It genuinely is, which is why I'm so adamant. We've got to get it right. We have to get this summer window right. So the midfield, we don't know what's going to happen there. Jones most likely looks like he's going to leave. McAllister's up in the air. So Bosley, he's been spoken about getting a new deal, and it's been in the works, but don't know what's going to happen there. So we're going to need midfield options, at least two. Not to mention the glaring obvious hole in midfield that we have, which is the DM position. We still need a DM. We tried to shoehorn Gravenberch in there last season. It worked for a season. This year, it's become blatantly obvious he's not a 6, and it's not going to work long term. So that's a position we need to look at as well. Go and get a DM in. It's crazy to think that we let Fabinho go in 2023, the summer of 2023. We're now in 2026, and we still haven't replaced him. 3 years later, we still haven't replaced our DM that we let go. I mean, does that not just scream incompetence to you? Does that not just scream stupidity? Because that's what it screams to me. You let your monster DM go, because we know how good Fabinho was for us. Every game the guy would start. The guy was an absolute monster. One of the best signings we've ever made. You let him go and you don't replace him, which made zero sense to me. Genuinely made zero sense. 3 years later, we still haven't got a DM. Endo can play there, but we know Endo's not a long-term solution with his age. And also with the fact that Slot doesn't seem to rate him at all. So that's a problem going forward. We definitely need to look into the market and address the DM situation. Yo, big up to my brother Vids, man. Big up to my brother Vids. I'm just going to start that. Appreciate you being in, bro. Big up yourself, man. Make sure you are subbing to Vids, guys. If you can get his link in the chat, the gaming channel and his regular channel, make sure you sub to my brother on both his channels, man. Another one of the fellowship. Appreciate you being in, bro. Big up. Big up, bro. So, yeah, DMs needed. Along with maybe 1 or 2 squad midfield options. So that's potentially another 3 signings. So we're already looking at 7 signings. 2 right wingers, a backup striker, a left winger, that's 4. A DM is 5. 2 squad midfielders, if Elliott and Jones go, that's 7. So I've already said 7 signings there we need. 7 signings from the midfield and attack, because we have glaring holes in the squad. Now let's go to the defense, because for me the defense has been a very talked about point this season. Centre back issue, we've got issues at centre back. We've got issues there, let's be honest. Virgil is getting on in age. He is going to need replacing eventually, probably next summer, but for now I think we're good with him. Next to Virgil is a problem. Who's going to partner him next year? Konate has had a very, let's be honest, to be frank, he's had a very below average season, hasn't he? Not been good enough. Hasn't been good enough this season. Started the season off terribly. Recently, since around February, January time, he's picked up. But even then, even though he's had a bit of a good run, he still had 1 or 2 games in between that which haven't been good enough. Looks like he's now going to sign a new deal, which I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest, guys. I really don't. I really don't know how I feel about that, because he hasn't been good this season. And it was blatantly obvious that Ibrahim Konate had his head turned. It was obvious he had his head turned, and he was looking at Real Madrid. He wanted Real Madrid. And now we're going to give him a new contract knowing he wanted to go elsewhere. It doesn't sit well with me. It really doesn't sit well with me, lads. I've got to be totally honest about it. It doesn't. So that's a problem, giving him a new contract, because we don't know what his performance level is going to be like going into next season. That could be an issue. So there's one issue straight away. On top of that, I think we need another centre-back anyway, because even with Konate staying, we've still got issues, in my opinion, at the back. We've still got big issues, because let's say an injury to Konate happens now. We know Konate is an injury-prone centre-back primarily. Surprisingly, this season, he's been able to stay injury-free for the majority of it, which, again, I'm happy with, and big up to him for being able to stay injury-free. A surprise, because normally he picks up at least 1 knock a season. Hasn't done that this year. That's good. But let's say he does pick up a knock next season, which isn't out of the realms of possibility. we're going to need another centre back regardless. I know we've got Jeremy Jacquet coming in, so that'll be a good addition, a good young addition. Leoni, the young centre back who got injured against Southampton earlier this season, will be back next year. So the future at centre back, I think, is set with those two there. But for the here and now, it's another position I think we need to look at. I do believe it's another position we have to look at. I really do. So along with Kanate extending, we need another centre back. So who that's going to be, Slotterbeck, I don't know, whoever. We need to go get another one in. So that's 8 signings I've just named there. 8. Big up to Jimbo, man. Big up yourself, mate. Appreciate you being in. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to yourself as well. Or evening, wherever you are in the world. Big up, man. Appreciate you being in. That's 8 signings I've named instantly, isn't it? Now let's go to the right backs situation. We've got 2 injury-prone right backs. 2 right backs that I think are talented. I think Jeremy Frimpong is talented, has potential. I think Conor Bradley is talented and has potential. I think both of them are very good right back options. Issue is, with Conor Bradley particularly, not so much Frimpong, although he is starting to show signs of it now as well. We know Conor Bradley is an extremely injury-prone right back. While I think he's really good and I like the guy and I think he's got a lot of potential and I do rate him highly, especially his performances against Real Madrid, both times he played them this season and last season. He's injury prone. He'll have a good couple of games and then out of the blue he'll pick up a knock and he'll end up being out for a lot of the season. Got injured against Arsenal at the Emirates back in February, I believe it was. Has been out since. Unfortunately, it was an unfortunate injury that happened. So he's injury prone. So as good as we think Conor Bradley is and as much as we think he has the potential, he's not the finished article yet. And we can't rely on him. We've seen it down the years. We've had a lot of injury-prone players down the years. Bradley's one. Who else was injury-prone for us? Frimpong also looks injury-prone now. Diogo was injury-prone. Rest in peace to Diogo. Was a very injury-prone player when he was with us. You can't rely on injury-prone players. You really can't. So already we're down one right back because Bradley's hit and miss, hot and cold. Comes in, goes out due to injuries. You then got Jeremy Frimpong, who, ironically, at Leverkusen, I don't think he picked up a single injury. I think he remained injury-free in his time at Leverkusen. Comes to Liverpool, and he's now picked up 3 injuries. He picked one up at the beginning of the season that kept him out for a while. Picked one up halfway through the season, which kept him out for a while. And he picked up one recently as well, and he's only just come back. So, a player that wasn't injury-prone ever at Leverkusen, playing under Xabi Alonso and in Xabi Alonso's system. I don't know whether they were training differently or doing something differently, but something's not right there. You know, how a player can be so reliable at Leverkusen, have a pretty much a squeaky clean injury record, comes to Liverpool and he picks up 3 back-to-back. Doesn't sit right with me. Is there something in training that's being done differently that maybe isn't helping? Because we have picked up a fair share of injuries this year. Bradley's been out. Isak's been out. Frimpong's been in and out. Who else has been injured as well? I'm trying to think now. We've had a lot. We've had a lot of injuries this year. I don't know whether it's a training thing, but something ain't right. Something ain't right there. Different type of game in the different type of game in the. I don't think you finished the sentence there, Jimbo. I think you might have missed a word out. Big up, Boss Baptiste, appreciate you being in. Hope you well, mate. Appreciate it. Yes, big up Razo as well, man. Hope you and the family are good. We're all good, man. Hope you're doing well as well. Do I rate Bradley? I think he's average at best. We need a starting right back into summer IMO. Oh, different types of game in the UK. Yeah, we know that, to be fair, Jimbo. We know the Premier League is a lot different to the leagues abroad. It's more of a physical league. Very light on set pieces nowadays. So, yeah, you're spot on. It is it's a very different type of game in the UK. 100%. But yeah, back to ours. This comment here. Do you rate Bradley? I was just talking about Bradley a minute ago. Pardon me. I think he has potential. I think we've seen he has potential. I remember the first game that Conor Bradley burst onto the scene. Chelsea at home 2 seasons ago. We beat them 4-1. He was brilliant in that game. Got himself a goal and an assist as well. And I could see from then that we have a special guy here. We have a special talent at right back. I was just glad at the time because Trent was also still here. I was just glad that we finally had someone to give Trent a bit of competition. That's what I was happy about mainly. But yeah, I think Bradley's got potential. We've seen him against Madrid twice. First up against Vinicius Jr., locked him up, didn't give him a sniff. Then against Mbappe, locked him up, didn't have a sniff. He's shown that he can play at the highest level against the likes of Real Madrid, and he can put in a performance like that. So he's not afraid of stepping up in the big games. But the issue is the injuries, like I said. Raza, he's too injury prone for me. So will he ever be a starter being injury prone? No, he won't. For me, unfortunately, unless he miraculously, when he comes back, has an injury-free time with us, I don't think he's ever going to be able to be a starter because we can't rely on him. So I think we're going to have to do it where Frimpong is the main right back and Bradley becomes cover. Now, I think Bradley's good enough to start on his day, I do, but if you're injury prone and you're in and out most of the time, how can you be a number one? I wouldn't say he's average though, Raza. I wouldn't say he's average. I do think he's got potential. I wouldn't say he's average. I've got to disagree with you on that. But definitely, Raza, we do need a starting right back for sure. For sure, man. We need a starting right back. Both of them are injury prone. Frimpong and Bradley both injury prone. And chances are, unfortunately, that's going to continue going into next season. So we've been at a point this season where we've had no fit right back because they've both been injured at the same time. I mean, how unlucky is that? We can't afford to go into next season and have a situation where at a point in the season, we've got no right backs. So that's another position we need to look at, in my opinion. Go into the market and get a right back in. So that's 9 signings I've just named. 9. I mean, look at the amount of signings we're going to have to make, man. It's crazy. Also, the amount of games could be something. Yes, that is true, Vids. The game pile-up, the fixture pile-up could also be an issue. That could be leading to injuries for sure. 100%, bro. It looks like with certain players intending to leave in the summer window, we need a major overhaul. Yeah, Vids is. I agree with Vids too. The number of games every season has increased, 100%. Yeah, therefore a lot of players are getting injured. Yeah, facts, Jimbo. Facts. Good day. Big up Waha again. Yeah. See, I don't think we need a big clear out, to be fair, guys. I really don't. I really don't think we need a big clear out. I think we need to just add to the team we have. Maybe get 1 or 2 players out that are out on loan that aren't going to be in the manager's plans or the new manager's plans if a new one does come in. But again, this all depends on if a new manager comes in. Because if a new manager comes in, he might look at our squad and he might see, you know what, I can do something with that player. I can do something with that player, that player, that player. We know what Slot's like, you know what I'm saying? We know how Slot feels about it. But let's say a new coach did come in, he could look at Harvey Elliott maybe out on loan and say, I could do something with him. I can do something with him. He could look at maybe Gakpo and say, you know what, people don't believe in him, but I can do something with him. Yo, big up TTM, bro. Big up to the brother TTM, man. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you being in, man. So, that's 9 signings I've named, guys. I think we need 2 right wingers because I'm counting Chiesa gone as well. So that's the whole right side gone with Salah and Chiesa both gone. 2 right wingers we need. The injury issue at striker, Isak being injury prone, Ekatike being out. I think we need a cover striker in case Isak does pick up another knock. So that's 3 signings. I think we need a left winger to replace Gakpo so we can use Gakpo as a squad player. So that's 4. Moving into midfield, DM. Definitely needed. Need a DM. So that's 6 signings there. A squad midfielder potentially as well. If Jones goes, McAllister goes, or Elliott goes. If any of them go, squad midfielder, that's then 8 signings. Centre-back, we need a centre-back 9. Need a right-back 10. Look at the amount of business we've got to do this summer. Look at the amount of money that has to be spent. Really. You're looking at a lot of money being spent. A lot. You know. I just don't know if our owners can do that. I really don't. I don't trust them to. I really don't. 100%. If anyone's not performing, Jimbo, in the team, or if anyone doesn't want to be at the club, you've got to get them out straight up. You have to get them out. I agree. Any player that doesn't want to play or isn't performing to the highest level and giving their all for the club has to go. They've got to go. At Liverpool, I don't really care how talented you are. I don't really care what you like. I just want you to give 100% on the pitch for the badge, for the fans, for the club. That's all I want. You know what I'm saying? Talent means nothing to me. I want to see you work hard and I want to see you give 100%. If you're not doing that at Liverpool, for me, I don't want you here. I really don't. What's with Elliot? Emery doesn't use him whatsoever. Um, I don't know what's going on with Elliot. Well, Slot didn't rate him, obviously. Slot wanted to get rid of him this summer. He goes out on loan to a Villa. It doesn't look like Emery wanted to sign him, to be fair. Well, it's one of those where the Chiesa situation with us and Slot, I think they've got a similar one with Elliot and Emery. I think he's a club signing that Villa made, and he doesn't, and Emery doesn't take to him or doesn't want to use him, doesn't have him in his plans. Hence why he's not getting game time. I think that's the reason. It's the same because he's got talent and he's a talented kid, but the fact he's not getting game time is sad, man, because he's got so much potential. Frimpong also plays right wing, but has not been able to, as we need to facilitate other players. Yeah, Jimbo, he can play right wing, not naturally. It's not his natural position, but he can play there. Primarily, he needs to play as the right wing back, doesn't he? Who at Liverpool isn't giving 100% right now? Oh, there's a couple players, to be fair, TTM. There's a couple players I think ain't been giving 100% this year. As much as I hate it, look, I love the guys, but I've got to be 100%. I don't think Verge is giving 100% this year. I really don't think he's given 100% this year. Some of the defensive errors he's made have been really, really bad. You know, you got the handball against PSV Eindhoven, Chelsea away, you know, backing off. The man does this aura thing with Van Dijk always has, for a couple of years now, he has that thing where he just relies on his aura. He just feels that when forwards are running at him because of who he is, because of his name, they'll just be put off. But I don't think he realizes he's 34 now, and players are not going to be scared of him as much as they used to be when he was in his prime. So he needs to get stuck in a lot more, like what VVD used to do in his early days, where he used to just get stuck in, tackle. You know what I'm saying? Now it's too much. I'll rely on my aura to defend, and hopefully players will get put off. That's not working no more, and he's done that a lot this season, a lot. So and he's even admitted to it as well. He's literally even said that he relies on his aura to put players off, which for me is just like, oh my god, you're 34 now. You haven't got that same fear factor you did when you were in your prime, 27, 28. So he definitely hasn't been giving 100%. And he's the captain as well, man. And I say that with a lot of disappointment because I expect a lot more from him. Along with him, Salah also hasn't been giving 100%. We've got to be honest. He hasn't. Now, granted, I do think a lot of factors have been against Salah this season. But ultimately on the pitch, for majority of the season, he just hasn't given 100% for us. He hasn't. He's another one. So they're two of the senior players as well. Along with that, I don't think one or two other players have given 100%. And I think a lot of that is to do with the fact that they don't really take to Slot and don't like Slot. Because they don't like Slot, because they don't like the manager, it's hard for them to give 100% on the pitch. But that's where you've got to remain professional, haven't you? You know, whatever you feel about the manager, whenever you go onto the pitch, you give your best no matter what. Alisson seems to be definitely off to Juventus. Yeah, man. Alisson's my favourite player in the current Liverpool side. He has been for a long time now. That one's going to hurt me, man, if he does end up going to Juventus as well. Same, but maybe time for a new keeper. He was injury prone the last few seasons. The last 3 seasons, Jimbo, this season, last season, and the year before, he's picked up an injury every season for the last 3. And I hate that because it ends up taking him out for about 5 to 6 games, which we don't need. He's getting injury prone, but still, I still think, in my opinion, he's one of the best around. It'll be tough to lose him. It will definitely be tough to lose him. But if he wants to go, if it's his wish, we've got to respect it, haven't we? The issue is, I don't think the goalkeeping market's too good, Jimbo, I'll be honest. I look at the goalkeeping market at the moment. I don't see a lot of top keepers. When we bought Alisson, the goalkeeping market was relatively strong. Ter Stegen was still good at Barcelona. A young Oblak who was in his prime. Younger Neuer. De Gea was still around. You had a lot of good goalkeepers back then when we bought Alisson back in 2018. Fast forward to 2027. I look at the goalkeeping market. I don't see a lot of goalkeepers that, excite me. I really don't. I hear it, Bo, that all his stuff ain't been working. He's got to leave it on players to make him scared. That's it, TTM. He's got to put it on players. Relying on your aura, It doesn't work at 34, man, when you're coming towards the end of your career. In your prime, that might have worked. But now that players know you're a certain age and they know you're aging, it ain't gonna work. They're gonna feel they're not gonna feel afraid to take you on. That's why you gotta get stuck in and make them scared. Facts, bro. Yeah, exactly, Jimbo. I don't want to use that word, but yeah, he's not been working hard enough. He's been really lazy is the word. I think that's what I'm gonna say here. I think Virgil has been really lazy at times this season with his defending. Just look at the handball against PSV Eindhoven at home, guys. I mean, what was that all about? Just putting your hand up in the air like that. That was a dumb move to make. And that cost us in the game where we lost 4-1 at home. Chelsea away, very poor defensively. Other games as well, he's been poor. The Bournemouth away, terrible. It's been so unlike him this season. He's always been a model professional and he's always given his all. But yeah, man, Van Dijk's pissed me off at times this season. However, at the weekend, he did put me in a good mood because he stepped up in the derby. So, but yeah, overall this season, Verge has been poor. And to think he's the captain as well. Players are looking at him as the example and he hasn't exactly set the best one this season. I'd say a lot of players aren't giving 100%, aren't giving 70%, never mind 100 facts, bro. Players aren't even giving 50% in my opinion, some of them. So never mind 100, they're not even giving it 50 to 70. Players all season have been told not to come to training if they don't feel up for it. Yeah, man. It's a lot of this is to do with Slot, Baptiste. A lot of them don't like Slot. You can see there's a divide in the dressing room. I can tell which players are for Slot and which players are against Slot, which I think is causing a bit of divide. I'll be honest. I think it's causing some divide. I don't think Alisson believes in Slot. I don't think Salah believes in Slot. And I don't think a couple of the newer players believe in him either. However, I do think Virgil van Dijk is one of the players that believes in Slot. I genuinely believe that, which is why I feel there's a bit of a disagreement going on between the senior players at the club. Because some of them are, most of them are Slot out, but Virg being the captain is behind Slot. I think that's leading to a bit of tension. Konate has been hit and miss. Jimbo, the start of the season, he was terrible. He was really bad the start of the season. Since the Newcastle game at home, 4-1, I feel like he's turned a bit of a corner. His performances have improved. They've been a bit more consistent. However, having said that, even now that he's improved since around January, February, there's still 1 or 2 games in between that where I feel he just hasn't been good enough. He still had that bozo game. So he's been hit and miss. And we're going to give him that new contract. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because I don't feel like he's earned that contract based off of his performance as a whole this season. So I'd personally be holding off on that. I can't lie. I would be holding off on giving him that new contract. Because I don't think he's earned it. But if the club are going to give it to him, he's going to have to prove that he's worth it next season. My boy. Big up Andre, man. Big up yourself, Andre. Hope you're doing well, brother. Big up Andre. Appreciate you being in. Injury prone goalkeeper makes no sense to me. Facts, TTM, bro. How did you get injured as a goalkeeper, really? Real talk. How do you get injured as the goalkeeper? To me, that's the position in the team that I think I'm not taking the piss out of people getting injured, but at centre back, I get it. Forwards, I get it. Midfield, I get it. The goalkeeper rarely kicks, you know what I'm saying? So for him to get injured, for me, it feels weird. You know what I'm saying? Having a goalkeeper that's injury prone as well, that picks up knocks so often, again, kind of makes no sense to me either. So I agree, man. Injury prone goalkeeper doesn't make no sense. What kilometers is that guy covering? It's all right, bro. Just go Belgium and find a gem. The Lemens method might be the way for everyone. Yeah, to be fair, United have got a good goalkeeper there. Whoever scouted your goalkeeper did well there. So, and he's a big upgrade on Onana, to be fair. We know Onana. Well, we know what Onana was like in it. So, if we can scout a goalkeeper from abroad somewhere, I don't know, from Brazil, Spain, wherever, I think it could be a good thing. Just take a page out of United's book on it. They went and they didn't go and get a proven goalkeeper. They went to Belgium, looked at a prospect, brought him in, and he's been good for them. You know what I'm saying? He's been good. So might just have to go down that method, because I don't think Mohamed in my opinion, is good enough to make that step up yet to number 1. So I agree, TTM, bro. Sometimes you just got to go to these other leagues and find a young gem. look, no one's going to be Allison in it. No one's going to be able to replace him. But you got to look at the next best thing, I suppose. VVD can be clutch sometimes. Great Derby Day snatch and grab. Look, as I, I've had to hear Virgil and Salah get a lot of criticism this season. Those two particularly, and rightly so as well. Rightly so, because I feel overall their performances haven't been good. They haven't shown up for us. I don't think anyone will argue against that. However, in the biggest game of the season, for me particularly, Everton home and away, the biggest game of the season, they stepped up. Both of them stepped up with a goal. Both of them stepped up with a goal in the biggest game of the season. So, as much as they've been criticised a lot this season, they've still both stepped up in a big game for us. So I'll give them their flowers there. Konate had his head turned by Real Madrid at the beginning of the season. His play was so off. I think recently, since Real Madrid disassociated themselves with him, he's buckled down a bit. I agree, Jimbo. It was obvious at the beginning of the season he had his head turned. And it did look like Madrid genuinely were interested in him. It did feel like there was going to be another Trent type situation going on. And then I think, was it in January where it just came out that they didn't want nothing to do with him? If Konate had stayed professional at the beginning of the season and continued performing at a high level, I think he would have got that move to Madrid. Because he started, dare I say, down tooling and his performances dropped, Madrid would have seen that and thought, you know what, we want to stay away from you. So they distanced themselves from him. Bayern don't really need him. They've got Upamecano there. Paris Saint-Germain, do they really need him? They haven't really been looking at him. He's not been linked to them. His best option and his best bet is to stay at Liverpool, isn't it? I suppose. Signed a new contract. However, a lot of people have lost respect for Konate with the way he acted at the beginning of the season, with how he's blatantly was down tooling to get that move to Madrid. I personally am the same. And giving him a new contract as well now kind of feels like it doesn't sit well with me, giving him a new contract. It really doesn't. I don't think he's deserved it. I don't think he's earned it based off of the whole season. Yes, he's been better since January, but even then, man, that's not enough for me to say you can have a new contract. If he gets that new contract, I don't know how I'd feel about it, considering how he acted. It does feel like, it does give me the vibes of he's taking the piss and we've just given him a contract for the hell of it. So, if he gets it, he's got a lot to prove next season. He's got to show he's worth the money. A lot of our players have got their injuries when they haven't been touched or tackled. Yeah, Bus Baptiste. I read an article the other day, Bus Baptiste, saying that the training sessions under Jurgen were intense, and we know they were intense, to be fair. I read now that the training sessions under Slot are not as intense as they were under Klopp, which is interesting, and it got me thinking, why is the intensity in training dropped? We're a squad. We've got players here that are used to being or playing high-intensity football. In training, they're used to training in high intensity. So why now has the intensity dropped in training under Slot? Maybe that's the reason. Players are getting injured more. Could that be down to training methods? That's what I think, Jimbo. Like I said, under Slot, training methods and training in general under Slot is a lot low tempo. A lot more low tempo. It's not as high intensity as it was under Klopp. And because we're used to high intensity, having now dropped to a lower intensity method, maybe that could be causing injuries in the squad. Maybe, just maybe. Guy ain't even amazing. He just has all-round attributes, good quality shot stopping, good quality distribution. His temperament is correct. He commands the box while he drives and just being steady. Yeah, so he's not amazing, but he probably does have potential, TTM. I think he's young as well at the moment. I don't believe he's too old. So he's going to be at United for a good couple of years yet. I think it was important for United to probably get an upgrade on Onana because Onana was a joke, man. He was a terrible goalkeeper. That is good to have dependable. It's good to have a dependable goalkeeper. I mean, we've had a dependable goalkeeper for the last 7-8 years now in Alisson. We know we can depend on him when we need him to, or when we need him. United, they had it under De Gea, and then towards the end of De Gea's tenure, they kind of lost it. Under Onana, they had a goalkeeping issue. I think they were the goalkeeper as well by end there, wasn't too great either. So they fixed their situation out at goalkeeping. I have read recently though that Onana could be coming back to United. I know is he on loan currently at he's on loan in Turkey somewhere. So I read an article saying that he might be coming back. I don't know whether you know anything about that, TTM, but I think Onana was a decent goalkeeper before he went to United. I think at Inter Milan he was relatively solid. When he was at Ajax in that Ten Hag team, that was relatively good. When he had De Jong and all them lot, I think Onana was good back then as well. Goes to United and he just completely don't know what happens, man. The guy just completely drops off the face of the earth. And yeah, man, that goalkeeper has fucked his career up. He's never gonna get a decent gig anyway, worldwide. It's all down to training methods. I think so too, Bus Baptiste. I really think so as well. I think because the training sessions are as intense as they were, and the players are used to it, it's causing issues now. It's causing issues for some of the players. Yemen's is young, maybe he'll develop some world class trait, but him being boring, basic, and dependable is exactly what we need. Yeah, TTM, 100%, bro. It's just about being steady, I suppose, as a goalkeeper. We had a very good backup keeper in Kelleher, but we saw that. Oh, Jimbo, don't even. Kelleher would have been perfect. To keep Kelleher around would have been. I think he was the perfect Alisson replacement. When Ali did eventually move on, I think Kelleher was perfect to make that step up to be the number one. The fact that we sold him, and now we're in this position where Alisson's potentially moving on, and we've got a backup goalkeeper that we don't particularly think is great. This is exactly why we should have kept Kelleher around. Yeah, the United's goalkeeping situation was hell, man. I think that Onana noise was just him telling the media he's keen on coming back and fighting for his position. That's all I remember. Doubt he'll come back, but if he does, he ain't the number one. Yeah, he'll probably just be a backup. I can't lie. All he'll ever be is a backup. Yeah, I think United will probably end up selling him. I can't lie. Probably won't get much for him though because of how bad he is, but I do think they'll end up selling him. Kelleher is class. I can't lie. Yeah, Kelleher is quality, man. He's quality. He's doing well at Brentford as well, which I'm glad to see. I feel like the last time I watched Kelleher, he was keeping his team in a game. It was when was the last time? Was it? I think it was. When did I last watch Brentford play? Was it Arsenal? Arsenal at home, I think. That Brentford played, and I think he made a couple of good saves to keep them in there. Even when Alisson got injured, Kelleher was always, reliable to come in and step up. In Freddie Woodman, we trust this weekend. Yeah, no Mohamedashvili in goal for the Palace game, so it is going to be Woodman. Palace are a bogey team, to be fair, Jimbo. We haven't beaten Palace for a while. Lost to them in the reverse fixture at Selhurst Park. They smoked us in the cup, 3-0. They beat us in the Community Shield. We drew against them final game of the season last year. We've struggled against Palace this season and towards the end of last season as well. So I think it'll be another tough game this weekend. But I do think we'll get it over the line. I do. The issue, the worry that I have, Woodman, Jimbo, is Woodman going to be in goal for the United game? That's what I worry about because I feel that could be a bit of a problem if he is. There's not enough football in football training. Too much boxing and stupid soft things in training, which makes us weaker on the pitch now on match day. They've been turned into wimps. Bus Baptiste, you've just got to look at the way Arsenal train. If you haven't seen it, bro, do have a look at Arsenal's training methods. It is weird. The way Arsenal train or train, it's weird. They do all sorts of weird gimmicks, man, with pens. It's weird. They're a prime example of how footballers are wimps nowadays. Real talk. Yeah, Brentford. Yeah, you're playing them. Oh, yeah, you're playing Brentford tomorrow, yeah? Yeah, United are playing Brentford at Old Trafford. Potential drop points, to be fair, because Brentford aren't no joke. Sesko Brace versus Kelleher. I hear it, man. I hear it. I do think United win, to be fair. I think mathematically United have sealed top 5 now, haven't they? So they're probably going to get 3rd. Villa probably going to get 4th. And yeah, man, it must be good being a United fan, to be fair, since Carrick's come in. You've done relatively well. Hate to say it, but you have. Big up, Brian, man. Appreciate you being in, brother. Big up yourself. Cold hard truth, bro. I saw Liverpool doing fucking boxing training and hitting the bag. I was like, how's this going to improve Frimpong's delivery into the box? Yeah, that was back in July, I think. July gone, or it was August, where we were doing boxing training, and I was like, what's going on here? Why are we training like that? Very weird, man. Very, very weird. Boxing training is not going to help with the feet. It's not going to help in football. Boxing training ain't going to help Frimpong start delivering crosses into the box. Weird. Very weird, man. Lego head setting fire last week at the training. That is so dangerous, Vidge. Vidge, that is dangerous, man. I don't know what he was thinking doing that. I mean, that is really, really crazy. The fact that he set a fire at the training ground. I mean, bro, are you trying to burn the training ground down or something? Honestly, that is dangerous, bro. That could have backfired easily, and the whole thing could have, the whole training ground could have caught fire. That is dangerous, man. I can't lie. He's crazy, man. That guy. He is crazy. I've been watching the Arsenal All or Nothing again, and Arteta has them playing rock paper scissors into it. No way, Ryan. Did he actually? Did he actually? I've seen bits of the All or Nothing Arsenal doc. I didn't know that they were playing rock paper scissors in it though. Like, that is mad. He did, Jimbo. Yeah, I sent the article into the group a couple of days ago. But he set a fire in the training, in a training session. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do, but how crazy can you be, man? Technically, we can drop out if we lose every game, but I doubt. Nah, you won't lose every game. To be fair, TTM, I think you'll get enough wins. We got to play each other next week as well, haven't we? So that's going to be a bit mad. But you ain't exactly got to play anyone big. I think you played all the big six, haven't you? So you've got relatively comfortable games. You should do enough to get top 5. I can't lie. You should do enough. Question is, though, how will you guys do in the Champions League next season? Because I do think you'll probably spend a bit of money, get some players in. Be interesting seeing how you do again back in the UCL with 2 games a week again as well. We were 10 points behind Chelsea when Carrick came in. Now we're 10 points ahead, serious point swing. Yeah, just goes to show, man, that an interim can just... You don't have to be great tactically. You just got to be a good speaker and get through to people. Carrick's gone in there. Well, I don't think he's the guy long term for you guys. He's in the short term, he's done really well. 10 points behind Chelsea when Amorim was there. Now it's a 10-point swing the other way. I mean, it says a lot, man. Set fire for symbolism, apparently. Then he went and lost. It's just weird, man, isn't it? Really weird. Upper body and lung conditioning, but yes, football training should be about tactics. Yeah, it should mainly be about the ball, doing what you're doing with the ball. Get the ball to feet and play. You know, that's what it should be. All these weird gimmicks now, I don't get it. You know, you get people doing weird exercising, holding pens like that. You get people like balancing balls, getting in a circle or huddle, balancing balls with their heads. It's weird. That is so Arteta. It is, man. The guy's crazy. He really is crazy. Guy's losing it. He knows he's on the way out. He would have been fine. Don't think the plastic he's made from melts. Yeah, look, there's no way Arsenal can keep Arteta. If he doesn't win anything again this year, which is looking likely now, he can't stay another year at Arsenal. He can't. I think they're gonna have no choice but to sack him this summer. I really do. I don't know how you guys in the chat feel about it, but he can't stay, man. They'd be absolutely mental to keep him around. I think he'll be 4th. Yeah, he does. And the picture on the wall, you see a duck or rabbit picture. Oh, my God. Oh, my life, Ryan. What an idiot. Arteta will probably make them walk over hot coals next. Oh, my God. Can you imagine that? That's crazy. That is crazy, man. I just want to see how he sides up against Paris Saint-Germain. We've shown that team levels in previous eras. Yeah, United have done well against Paris Saint-Germain in the past. We got to knock them out just so with the one English team they can't speak to. Yeah, I hear it, TTM. I do hear that. That's fair, to be honest. Villa is on a decent amount of levels right now. The world seems vanished. Galvanised, yeah. The squad seems galvanised, yeah. I still think United get 3rd, I can't lie. I do think they'll do enough to get 3rd place. I think if Liverpool had a bit about us this season, which we don't, if we had a bit of consistency, I think we'd have been able to catch Villa and take 4th. But I think with the way we are, with the games we've got coming up as well, United away, Chelsea at home, I actually think we'll beat Chelsea now that they've sacked their manager and they've got an interim in. I think we'll deal with them at home. Villa away coming up. Brentford as well coming up at home. I think we'll probably end up dropping a couple more points, but we'll still do enough to get fifth. Arteta isn't losing it. He's lost. He's been lost before he's even got the gig. Yeah. Wow. I read a stat the other day on Arteta. And I read it was just about Arteta's tenure at Arsenal, and Vids can probably back it up if he's still in the chat. So his first half season, he finished 8th, I believe it was. Was it 8th? Yeah. But then again, he came in halfway through the year. You can't blame him. His second full season, he finished 8th. But he had, I believe, if the stat said that he had Arsenal sat 15th at one point. He had them sat 15th at one point in his second season at a point in time, even though he finished 8th. And then his third season, I believe, after 3 games, he had them sat bottom of the league in 20th place, having lost 5-0 to City, 2-0 to Chelsea, and 2-0 to Brentford. So, first full season, at one point, he had them sat 15th. Second full season, he had them bottom of the table in 20th, going into the first international break of the 2021-22 season. Here it is. Just got the article up. Arteta's men were sat bottom of the table after the international break of 21-22 season, after having lost 5-0 to City, 2-0 to Chelsea, and 2-0 to Brentford, having scored 0 goals and having conceded 9 goals. Wow. 8, 5th. Okay, interesting, Vidge. He had a spot on when Spurs were first only manager in history to do that. Is crazy, man. He actually had Arsenal sat at bottom of the league. That is mental. I know it was only after 3 games and ultimately they didn't finish there, but to even be there in 20th place is mental. And yes, Spurs were first at that point as well. Yeah. I remember. That is mental, man. So he had 2 8th place finishes. Then he had a 5th place finish. Then after that is when they started challenging for the league. Then they had second. This is going to be their 4th second in a row, is it now? 22, 23, 22, 24, 24, 20. This is their 4th second in a row, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, to be fair, Vidge, he should have been sacked when he had you 15th, really. You should have sacked the guy when he had you sat 15th at that point in his first full season. Or you should have sacked him when he had you sat bottom of the league in the second season. Like, that's crazy, man. I agree, you should never have given Mikel Arteta the Arsenal job. It was too big for him, and it's proven to be too big for him. And we took them to the Europa League final and got sacked for being in 8th. Yeah, you sack Emery for being 8th, but then you keep Arteta when you're sat 15th, and then you keep him when you're sat bottom of the table as well. I mean, that's weird. That is very weird. You know, you give more leeway to Arteta than you did to Emery. To be fair, Jimbo, they should have stuck with Emery. Arsenal should have stuck with Emery, backed him, and I think they'd be better off right now. I genuinely do. Hopefully, don't want a second again. Yeah, don't want to have another second place finish for sure. Don't want to have another second place finish. That is a quad no one wants. Yeah, a quad of second place finishes is mental, isn't it? Absolutely mental. But as for us guys, Liverpool, I've just told you there, we've got to make at least 10 plus signings this summer, depending on the outgoings. Do I see us doing that? I don't. You know what I'm saying? We know what FSG are like. We know that they don't spend money. We know about their cheapskates. This summer, I think, was an anomaly. And I think it's going to get proven that it was an anomaly. You know, we're not going to spend 500 million again. We're not. I'm sorry. I don't want to bring no one's hopes down, but I'll be very shocked if we spend 5 million again. I don't see it happening. Our owners are just too tight-fisted. They're too cheap to do it. So while I think we will spend money, I've got no doubt about that. I think we will spend money. I expect us to be short in a couple of positions. At least one. I feel going into next season, when the summer ends, yes, we'll have made some additions. But I think we're going to be short somewhere, whether it's a attacker short, a midfielder short, defender short. There's going to be a position where we're short. And going into next season, we're going to have an issue there. I believe that happens every year. 2020, 2021. Virgil got injured, we were short of centre-back. You know, 2023, 24, didn't have a DM. There's always a position where their owners just send us into the season short. You know what I'm saying? Either it's a DM lacking, centre-back lacking, attacker lacking. It's always something. They just don't spend enough to keep us competitive. And we're already hearing the excuses, guys. They're already saying we've got to sell to buy. We can't just spend this much money. We don't have the money. They're crying poor mouth again like they usually do. like they were doing before the summer gone. And again, we can't afford to keep Slot and do this whole sell to buy rubbish. Because if you give him the chance to have his proper stamp on the team and build a team that he wants, we've seen already this season he's incompetent. He's not good enough to be our manager. If you give him the chance to build his own team, and then he doesn't, because I'm telling you now, guys, if Slot stays, he's not making it out of next season. He isn't. He's not. He's gonna end up getting sacked by December time, November even. And at that point, we will have a squad of Slot players. A new manager will then come in, and he won't want to work with most of these players, and then we're gonna be fucked. We are gonna be fucked. I agree. Yeah, I hear it, Vidge. I hear it. We need to make money on the players going out. We won't make any money. I don't understand why we're not getting money from Mo. I really don't, Jimbo. That was, for me, a nailed on Saudi Arabian deal. Send him to Saudi, get a big, big, big whack, because you know they're going to spend, because of who Salah is, because of his name, they'd have spent a lot for him. The fact we're going to get nothing is weird, and it doesn't sit well with me. I try not to engage with top gunners in my chat, but sometimes I did have to tell them, till February, look, you're... Yeah, I hear it. Wow. I hear it, man. We never do TTM. We never spend in January ever. I mean, we bought Luis Diaz in January of 2022. Other than that, we don't spend. We do not spend in Jan. And I imagine that will continue. This season, we needed to spend in Jan, and we didn't do it. And look where we are now. It's just incompetence at the highest level. And I think the real ambitious clubs do spend in January. The clubs that really are ambitious will spend in January and break the bank. The clubs that aren't end up not spending. It's worthless 12. Yeah, it's Community Shield's BS, man. It's rubbish. So if Slot had half a brain, he would have used some of the youth in the games that fitted them. Instead, we have a squad of knackered players burnt out. Thing is, Bush Baptiste, we do have a decent squad. The problem is he just doesn't want to use most of the squad that we have here. He doesn't trust them. And that's the issue. He doesn't want to use Endo. He doesn't want to use Gomez. Doesn't want to use Chiesa. Doesn't want to use Rio. So you're not going to use half the squad here. And instead, the owners want to give him the summer window to impose his authority on the squad even more. Bring in more deadbeat players. Nah, man. He's got to go this summer, guys. I mean, he has to go. He's got to. It's obvious that the players don't want him here. They don't want to play for him. The fans don't want him. Every single fan I speak to online doesn't want Arne Slot here next season. So what does the ownership group see in him to keep him on? Real talk. We used to... Why is that? What changed? It's the FSG way, isn't it, man? They're just cheapskates, bro. They're just cheapskates. They don't spend. They don't want to spend. There's always an excuse why we can't spend. You know what I'm saying? We got to sell to buy. We don't have money. I mean, it's always something, man, why we can't spend money. Always. If it wasn't for these idiots, we'd have won so much more in the club, I swear down. And it still haunts me to this day that we didn't. Yeah, it has totally lost its meaning. Was a curtain raiser and something to look forward to. Yeah, Jimbo, I hear that. If you spend in Jan and got a new manager too, you'd have won this league. I do think that's possible, TTM. I do. I really do. I really do. I don't know what's going to happen with Slot, to be honest, TTM, bro. I know I'm seeing Sky saying that he's going to stay. But in January, I was reading that. Well, not in January. A couple of weeks ago, I was reading that FSG got an agreement in place already with another manager. Now it's come out that they want to stick with him. The issue for me is it's being kept in the dark that I don't like. I just want clarity. If he's going to stay, cool. I'll be pissed about it, but at least I'll be able to get over it and look forward after. It's the whole unclarification that I don't like. Being kept in the dark, not knowing if he's staying or going. Not knowing if he's staying or going. That's what I don't like. Now, I know that they usually put the club are going to keep a manager before he does end up going. So this could just be PR. It could be. It genuinely could just be PR, but I'm starting to prepare for him staying, guys. I'll be honest. I'm mentally starting to prepare because I always like to prepare for the worst. I hope for the best, but I prepare for the worst. I'm mentally preparing for Slot being here next season. I am. I've been doing that for a couple of days. I've been doing it for a couple of days. Yeah, well, it's all good, brother. It's all good, man. I still don't think he will be at Liverpool next season. The ship needs steady until the end of the season. There's no contract for Slot. This is the thing, Bus Baptiste. There was talks of him getting a contract back in August. Then that run happened, and it got put to a hold, and they haven't gone back to the talks. If they believe in Slot so much, they would have given him that new contract. If you believe in him so much, back your guy, give him the new contract. They haven't done that. So I don't think they believe in him because they know he's not the right guy. Which then makes it even more bizarre that they're saying they want to keep him this year. He can't stay, he shouldn't stay, but don't put it past FSG, man. Really don't. I'm certainly not going to put it past him to keep him. I really am not. But I hope he does go. I'm fucking praying that he goes, man. Can't do another season of this shit. I can't. Other Liverpool fans are the same. I've spoken to a lot of Liverpool fans this week, guys. A lot of them are checked out. They've said to me, if Arne Slot is the manager next season, we're not watching. We're not. And you know what? Fair play, man. Because you know what I will say? While our owners don't have the ambition, us as Liverpool fans will always hold or have our club as high standards. Have high standards for our clubs to say. We'll never be happy cappers. We'll never just be accepting of shit. We're always going to have standards as fans. And we've always had that for years. While our club doesn't have that same ambition, we do. And if this manager's here next season, a lot of us aren't going to watch. Maybe it's for the better because it might force some change. A lot of fans are saying they're not going to go to games. A lot of fans are saying they're not going to buy club merch. Well done. That's the way to force change. So be it. So be it, man. So be it, man. But yeah, a lot of fans are checked out, man. They're saying already they're not going to be here next season if he is. That says it all for me. We've not spent big in January in ages now. But yes, we bought some big players in January in the past. The Bootram used to raid the country and near the continent for decent players. Used to be called the dreaded boardroom vote of confidence. Okay, I understand. Big up Joshy, man. Big up to Joshy J. Hope you're well, mate. Big up, man. Always ready to scout, and you seem to find the exact players you need all the time before. Our scouting team's good. That's one thing I will say about FSG. They usually have decent footballing people in place below them that are able to get stuff out of them or able to scout good players, should I say. It's just them as owners don't want to put their money in their pockets, which I don't like. If Slot, in my opinion, if Slot IMO, it's because owners gave him $500 million, he screwed up. But let's say he knows he can work with those players. He needs to go. Well, I can't put it no other way. He has to go, man. He's just not the guy for us going forward. He's not. What are the main positions you want Liverpool to strengthen this summer? So I think we definitely need a centre-back. We definitely need a DM. We definitely need a right winger and a left winger. And then potentially on top of that, a backup striker, another right back, and a squad midfielder as well. But the main positions, I think, a centre-back is a must, DM is a must, right winger is a must, and a left winger is a must. A new manager just gets a bunch of someone else. Yeah, I hear it. Well, I do. Hughes, Hughes. I think you mean Hughes and Edwards are as much to blame for this as Slot. They are, Jimbo. Because at the end of the day, they're the footballing directors. They're the ones that FSG have put in place to oversee everything. They should have sacked him in November, really. They've allowed this to kind of continue. And now it looks like they want to allow it to continue again for another year. No, not if the fans have anything to say, man. Not if the fans have anything to say about it. Which is why I think change has to be forced. Big up, man, Vidge, for putting Joshy's link there. Do sub to Joshy if you haven't, guys. Juventus are in for Bernardo Silva. That's interesting. That would be a good signing for Juventus, to be fair. That would be a good signing. I think you should stay ahead of the curve and sign a starting striker. Isak is questionable and you have no idea how Ekitike returns. Exactly, bro. With Ekitike's injury, you don't know what he's going to look like going forward as a player. You don't. He could come back after the break and not be the same player that he was before he left. 100%, bro. So you got to be prepared for that. Isak, injury prone. We know he can't stay fit. So I agree. Definitely need to go and sign another striker. I know Ivan Toney's a Liverpool fan and he's playing in Saudi Arabia right now. That could be something that we look at potentially. We could definitely look at him. I agree, bro. Got to stay ahead of the curve, man. I think we need to go get another striker. We can't have Szoboszlai playing right back, for fuck's sake. We can't, Jimbo. We can't do another season of that where we have no fit right back because they're both out injured. And we then have to shoehorn players in to positions where they're not naturally playing in. Can't be doing another year of that. We can't. This is why we need to go into next season. I want to have a good starting 11, and I want to have a good squad as well. You know, with the money we spent, it's absolutely criminal that we haven't built a squad this season. We haven't built a squad. The squad is still thin. With the money we spent, you'd expect the 11 to be good and the squad to be good as well, and it's not. It just shows we didn't spend the money in the right manner. Hughes and Edwards must go as well. You were right. They are exactly, both Hughes and Edwards are part of the problem, especially Hughes. Bus Baptiste. We need new sporting directors. I feel, along with a new manager, we need new sporting directors that aren't egotistical and have the better of the club in their and the interest of their club, the betterment of the club, should I say, ahead of their egos. And I feel Hughes and Edwards are egotistical as fuck. I really feel like they care more about being proven wrong, which is why they haven't gotten with the slot. But I feel like they're going to have no choice but to get rid of him. If he doesn't go in the summer, he ain't lasting next season. There we go, lads. Someone has put Vid's links in, so do sub to Vids, please, lads. Do sub to Vids, please. I'm just going to pin that. There we go. I've just pinned that. So do sub to Vids, both of Vids' channels. The gaming one and his regular one. From the owner's perspective, they are invested heavily in this manager, so they might give him another chance, because if they don't, it really looks like they threw money away from their perspective. That's spot on, Waha. You're spot on with that. You are definitely spot on with it. They're invested in him. You know, he's their guy. I feel they love him personally because he's a yes man and he doesn't challenge their authority. That's one of the main reasons I think they love him so much. If they give him another chance, he's going to get more players in, and the football's not going to improve. It's going to be poor next season as well, and we've thrown even more money away. So I just think they need to just admit they got made a mistake in hiring him and just get rid of him. I believe Arne Slot is a good manager. I don't have no ill intent towards him when he leaves. I'll always remember his first season. I'm so grateful that we won the league last year. I got to celebrate. I got to see us win a league with fans in the ground, something I was robbed of in 2020. So I'll always hold him in high regard. They're coming in after Klopp. First season did great. And I think he's a good manager. I think if he goes to the Eredivisie back there, if he goes to France, if he goes to Germany, I think he'll do well. For a club with smaller ambition, a smaller club with less ambition, I think he'd do well. But for Liverpool, he's not the right guy. He's not, and we just have to cut our losses. And that's how I look at it with Slot. We spent nearly 250 million on two players that have been out half a season ended. Yeah, exactly, Jimbo. Can you imagine Kenny Dalglish wearing Armani shoots and avatars wanting to be seen in Saudi, the press overtime? Kenny should get in there and slap them up. Yeah, man. 100% Bus Baptiste. Edwards. To be fair, Joshy J, I think Klopp was the main one. He was able to make Edwards look good. I feel without Klopp there, Edwards has kind of been shown up to be a bit of a dickhead. I can't lie. He has. It has been stated by people that one of the main reasons Klopp left was because he was fighting with Hughes and Edwards. That allowed to be glad to let them out. Well, Hughes wasn't actually at the club at this point, Jimbo. Hughes came in with Slot. He was fighting a lot with Michael Edwards. They weren't seeing eye to eye on a lot, which is why Edwards left. And it's ironic, isn't it, that Edwards only came back after Klopp announced he was leaving. It shows that them two were never going to be able to work with each other again. I don't know what happened, why they fell out, but honestly, I just don't think Edwards is all that. I really don't. Bring back the club manager. Fuck these coaches fresh out of college. Yeah, man, I hear it, Bus Baptiste. I hear that, bro. I'm a United fan, to take what I say with a pinch of salt, but imagine if Slot was to be around for the next 2-3 seasons. That one league he brags about wouldn't compare to the way he changed the identity of Liverpool. Honestly, but if he was here for the next 2-3 seasons, we're going to take the United and Arsenal route. We really are. We're going to take that United and Arsenal route where we just become better. I think United are buried, personally. shout out to Lee Gunner, yeah, because Lee Gunner was actually talking about this the other day. He said Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, and Man United are all finished institutions. They're too far gone, and I agree with him to an extent. I don't think Liverpool are finished yet. I do think we're still at a good level, but give it 2-3 years, I feel that we could take that United Arsenal route if the correct changes aren't made this summer, which is why I'm so adamant he has to go and a new manager has to come in. This is a big summer for so much reasons. Could really make or break the future of our club. But I hear it, TTM. I think this season alone, Slot has done enough damage for Liverpool. He's completely ruined it, bro. We're known for a club that we're known as a team that plays fast, attacking, heavy metal football, and we've now gone from that to playing this boring, possession-based brand, which just doesn't suit us at all. Bit like when Ten Hag had a good cup run, shocking manager in the league, but was glad he got his. Yeah, I hear it, Josh CJ. I hear it, bro. I hear that, bro. I do hear it. I was there for Kenny's first season. That's brilliant, Jimbo, man. That must have been a memory to. That's got to be a memory to always remember. First match was Kenny's first game as a player manager. That's great, Bus Baptiste, man. It was mostly Klopp, Joshy, man. It was. Edwards just took a lot of credit for shit. Used to joke that if I really wanted that, they could give me half the money they gave Slot, and I managed to ruin the team just as well. I hear that, waha. I do hear that. I half agree with Lee, half don't. Guess I'd have to think through that statement some more. Basically, all he said was Arsenal, United, Chelsea, and Tottenham are too far gone because the fan base and the owners have just run the club into the ground. Do I agree with him to an extent? Yes. Do I think that they're too far gone? No. Because I do feel if any club gets their act together, they can make a comeback. So I hear what he's trying to say, but I wouldn't say that United are too far gone. Arsenal are too far gone. Chelsea are. I think Tottenham are screwed, to be fair. Because apparently, what I didn't know was that ENIC actually owns Spurs' stadium. So even if ENIC do sell Tottenham, they still own the ground. They still own the stadium. So Spurs are finished regardless. I feel they're cooked, man. But as for the other clubs, if they get their act together, there's no reason why they can't get back up there competing. But it's a big if. To be fair, Lee does know a lot when he talks about football fair play. He does. Joshy J. Lee gonna knows his stuff, man. Big up to him. And you know what? He says it how it is, man. He says it how it is. Doesn't make no excuses. Says it how it is, man. And that's something you don't see with Arsenal fans, really. You know, the Arsenal fans I know, Bidge is one. All the other lads in the chat, they all have standards for the club. They all want to see their club winning and doing well. A lot of these Arsenal fans nowadays, they don't want to see that. All they care about is, you know, sucking off Arteta and sucking off some of the dead players they have. You know, it's good to see Arsenal fans that still hold their club to high standards. And it's the same with United fans. It's good to see that United fans are out there still, you know, that still hold high standards for their club. No club in football is representing what clubs used to be like 20 years ago. I agree those top clubs aren't the same anymore, but neither are the clubs around us. Yeah, exactly, TTM. You know, most of the clubs nowadays I think the only serious club in the Prem is City. City are the only ones that consistently spend money and consistently, in my opinion, show ambition to want to win year in, year out. I don't think anyone else is really doing that currently. I really don't. Which is why I feel like City are winning it most years and they're the dominant side. You know, everyone else is just it's just man. They're just not doing enough. Can we allow Slot, Hughes and Edwards another summer transfer window? I don't think we can, but FSG will. Apparently, Jimbo, FSG are leaving the decision of Slot's future in Edwards and Hughes' hands. If that's the case, we're fucked. Because you know they're going to end up keeping him. 100%. City are the only club in England who win consistently. Yeah, because they want to win consistently. Everyone else seems like top five's the goal, and that's it, which I don't like. In this league, Matt Letizia would have won the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, Bus Baptiste, 100%. I think Lee's point would be more complete if he just said all the football's falling off. Nothing, especially sad happened to the top clubs, 6 clubs. We've all been forced to do the same money machine. Yeah, exactly, TTM. We've all been forced. We've all been ruined, man, at the end of it, haven't we? All of our owners have kind of... We've still been able to win stuff with FSG, though. I feel with United, with the Glazers, Arsenal with the Cronkays, Spurs never win anything. Chelsea with the blue coat thing. You know, you haven't been able to really win the big honours. You guys have still won trophies here and there, but you know, gone are the days where United are winning leagues or Champions Leagues. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what you guys want, isn't it? There's this United channel ran by some, and you got a couple of 10,000 subs. They were sucking Amorim off so much, so hard. I really couldn't. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. After Carrick took over and won 3 on the bounce, dude made a video was wrong about Amorim, but really talked shit. How he was incompatible with the ownership. It's just pity excusing for the guy. Yeah, just say it how it is, man. I mean, you don't have to defend it all the time. Just say it how it is. I'm saying the second I realised Slot wasn't the guy for Liverpool, I said it straight up. He's not the guy. Why make excuses? You know what I'm saying? Why make excuses for the man? Why? Just say it how it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. But yeah, guys, as for our window, I think we will spend. But I don't think we'll spend enough. And I think we're going to be left short in a couple of key positions, which, again, I'm worried about. Very, very worried about. So we'll see what happens there. So while I think we will make summer signings, I don't think we'll make enough summer signings. So yeah, there's just some absolute crunch in everything. There is Wahaha. There is, man. There is 100%. I don't want to point any fan base out in particular, but the Arsenal one, particularly online, is really bad. It's really, really bad, man. I've seen Arsenal YouTubers beefing with each other, getting personal and shit, which is just mental. I think the United fan base, while they disagree, they never really get toxic to one another. They never get rude. They never start threatening people. The Arsenal fan base does that a lot, which is why I don't really like it particularly. I feel the Liverpool fan base online, we're relatively good with each other. I don't see no issue with the Spurs fan base. I don't see no issue with the City fan base. The Chelsea one, I think, is slowly becoming like the Arsenal one. The Chelsea one is slowly becoming like the Arsenal one because I'm seeing Chelsea fans starting to beef as well. Chelsea is slowly starting to become like Arsenal. I know that don't go really the Arsenal fans. Yeah, exactly what, man. No Premier League title since 2012, 2013 season. To me, is unacceptable. We should be up there every season if you don't want to win it every year. I hear it, man. TTM, Chelsea are slowly getting them. Chelsea are slowly getting there, man. I mean, Arsenal are still number one, but from what I've seen, Chelsea fans, how I've seen them acting, they are slowly approaching that level of craziness. Yeah, Arsenal and Chelsea are bad. Arsenal is by far the worst in my opinion, especially the online fan base. Yeah, I don't notice any issues with the Spurs fan base, mainly because not a lot of people support them. City fan base, I don't notice a lot. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't see Liverpool fans being rude to each other. We usually agree with each other a lot. But Chelsea and Arsenal fan base, don't know what's going on between them, but a lot of beef going on, a lot of personal shit going on. While I think the United fan base is deluded, and they do disagree, I do see them disagreeing with each other. I don't ever see United YouTubers getting personal with each other. I don't ever see them, start taking it personal, start getting toxic, abusive, threatening. So while they agree or disagree, should I say, they don't ever go down the Arsenal and Chelsea route. They're beefing bad. I've seen it, TTM, man. I've seen it, man. This season, I was getting riled up from people saying Amorim needs to do more transfer windows. Yeah, you are. The guy was a trash manager, but people should just accept it. The Maresca, yeah, but I've seen a lot of Maresca sucking off, man. It's crazy. Like, real talk, he's not even their best ever manager. Try not winning a top flight title for 30 years. Yeah, Jimbo, we went 30 years, man, without winning one. So, we've suffered the most here. I hope it doesn't take. To be fair, Arsenal are on track to beat our 30-year record, lads. They are on track to beat our 30-year records, I can't lie. So they could end up they could break that. And if they do, for context, Amorim's first signing was Dorgu, constantly playing as left wing back when he's the absolute worst defender you ever saw. I hear it, wahaha. There's a fair few amount of real Arsenal fans that aren't losing who don't argue with each other. There is, Vidge, you're one of them. My brother, you are one of them. There are real Arsenal fans, and they're the ones that I respect. As for the other idiots, they say some crazy shit, man. I never see Liverpool fans being in deep problems with each other. I guess it's just the Northern England clubs. It is TTM, it is, bro. It is. I think it is just one of those things. There is that Saint Nick in Australia, who's a bit of a mutant, though he supports us. You on about the Australian guy that's always posting about people beefing, aren't you? I know who he is, yeah. He's a bit of a clown, that guy, so I can't lie. I know who you on about, Jimbo. Yeah, Nick, whatever his name, Nick Football. He's a bit of a dickhead. Something sick about London football fans, I guess. Yeah, TTM. It definitely feels like that for sure. You think our generation are just not that bothered. Just take it as it comes. I speak to a lot of fans and watch fan channels. There's also a lot of arguments, toxicity, and overglazing of players, but still not comparable to Arsenal. Yeah, Ryan, 100%, man. 100%. 100%, man. But yeah, Arsenal and Chelsea, they are really, really bad, man. Really, really bad. I speak to a lot of Spurs fans. Oh, you on about Spurs fans? Yeah. To be fair, Ryan, not a lot of people support Spurs. Not a lot of people support Spurs, which is maybe a reason. Yeah, that Australian guy is a Liverpool fan. I've seen him in a. I don't know if you guys watch Enge, the Liverpool fan, but he appears in that chat a lot, which is why I don't really go in there no much. Not really a fan of that. Him. I talked to that football guy recently, tried passing some advice. So, okay, I see TTM. I hear it. I think he's a bit of a twat, man. Like, I notice he puts some Liverpool content out, he doesn't get much views. But then when he puts content out about beef and that, he ends up getting loads of views. Like, it's like you drive off drama. Yes, we just let it flow and pick up. I hear it. I hear it. I hear it, man. But yeah, guys, Liverpool will spend in the summer. We won't spend enough, though. And I'm telling you, going into next season, we're going to be short in a couple of key areas. I'm telling you now, we're going to be short in a couple of key areas. They're not going to break the bank. I think we're going to have to do sell to buy a bit. And I think it's going to be an underwhelming summer. And I do think a lot of us ain't going to be happy when it ends, because I feel I have a centre-back up top, at the back in centre-back, like I just said. Midfield, there's going to be a position lacking. I had massive high standards. You know how hard it was to get an Elise jacket and a pair of Sambas in the 80s. It must have been hard, Bus Baptiste. Must have been really hard, brother. But yeah, guys, been a great chat. An hour and 22 minutes we've been going on for. No technical issues. Get the hell in. No fucking technical issues, man. We'll have that. Take that any day of the week. I'm going to head off, guys. But no, before there's a couple more comments before that. Proper drama channel. I wouldn't have an issue with him if he was just funny about it. He acts like he's neutral too much. Yeah, he acts like he's neutral, but it's clearly obvious that he has a side in the whole thing. It's clearly obvious that he has a side in the whole thing. He's a dickhead, man. He's a dickhead. I don't want to call him a dickhead, but he's an absolute idiot. Yeah, Ryan, that beef was crazy, man. That beef was crazy. But big up to them for not entertaining the guy. That guy's a idiot, man. Big up TTM, man. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Big up yourself, man. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up Jimbo. Appreciate you being in as well. Hopefully your headache gets better soon as well. Leave you push Spurs into conversations they don't belong in. They find that like that annoying little brother that wants to play with junior mates, but you know, I hear it. I do hear it, man. I do hear it, brother. Any more comments that I've missed? Big up Joshy J. Big up Bus Baptiste. Big up Ryan. No problem, lads. I'm gonna do a quick world call before I do it out. Big up Jimbo. Big up Ryan. Big up Bus Baptiste. Big up Joshy J. Big up Waha. Big up TTM, man. Appreciate you being in, man. It means a lot. Big up to my brother Vidge. Make sure you are subbing to Vidge, lads, on the gaming channel and the normal one as well. Who else was in here that I missed earlier? I believe there was one or two other people in. Big up to Andre. Big up yourself, Andre. And big up to Danchum as well. Appreciate you all, man. It means a lot that you all stopping. Thanks to the mods for supporting. Take care. Big up, lads. Big up, lads. No problem at all. And big up to Don C, man. Big up Don, bro. Big up to my brother Don. He has just popped in now. I was just going to close the show up, actually, Don. So you are a bit late. Nonetheless, though, big up yourself, Don. People, do sub to Donversation TV. Doing some great work on his channel. Arsenal fan. Watch alongs, everything. So big up to Don. show him some love. Make sure you do sub, lads. If anyone can get his chat in him, if anyone can get his link in the chat quickly, do so, guys. Big up to Don. Appreciate you in here, bro. Big up yourself, man. But I'm just about to close up. Big up everyone. We'll be back later on Rasta's channel with the From the Stands pod, so do stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll speak to you all in a bit. Big up yourselves. Profit out in a bit. Up the Reds. Peace.